Well, good afternoon, everyone. Obviously, the first thing I want to do is give our thoughts and prayers to all the people in Houston and the surrounding vicinities on what's going on over there. I think we in Louisiana have a pretty good idea what they're going through, and it's really bad. And our thoughts and prayers go out to them. We as a university, our athletic department and university will be working together to reach out to the folks in Texas to do anything we can to help them. Over the weekend and this morning, we've been in constant communication with ESPN and the folks over in Texas. I am not prepared right now to tell you where the game's going to be. I do hope, though, by no later than tomorrow, we will have a site where this game will be. To all of our ticket holders, we will be issuing policies and how we can go about getting tickets to the new venue and redeeming your tickets if you can't make it for your purchase in Houston. I really don't have much more to tell you than that right now. I wanted to give you an update, and that's about all I can give you at this point. As you know, ESPN, this is ESPN's game. It's not LSU's game. It's ESPN's game. They have the rights to it, and they're negotiating where the game will be located. And we've been in, like I said, we've been in constant contact with them, and as soon as we know something, we'll let you know. And I hope that will be within the next 24 hours. I'll be happy to answer any questions, but I don't really think I can answer a lot of your questions.
Could you discuss the options that are on the table?
No, I can't. I'm sorry. I wish I could. I wish I could, but I can't.
Are there any parameters on where the game cannot be in terms of, maybe a maximum distance away it can be or things like that?
No parameters.
Joe, is ESPN seeking your input or BYU's input on the game at all?
Yes, yeah, they've been great. They've been in constant contact with myself and with Tom Home, the athletic director at BYU. So, yeah, they've kept us in the loop and they've been good. They've been the number one goal in this whole thing is to play the game, and that's everybody's goal is to play the game.
Joe, have you offered up Tiger Stadium? Is that a possibility to play it there?
It's been offered up, but I frankly don't think that's going to happen.
Joe, as far as waiting, this will give you a better idea where the storm is going and maybe, as far as New Orleans goes, as far as playing the game there, waiting till Tuesday morning to make a decision? Or
I think right now the biggest thing that's going through their minds is where's the best venue to play this game. And the storm's a factor, fans are a factor. There's a lot of things that are factors. But right now, ESPN's in negotiations with various venues to see which is the best place for this game to be played.
Just take one more. Brad, you got the last one before we bring in Coach Ed.
Hey, Joe, given the last 2 years that you've lost games, unfortunately, how confident are you that the game will be played somewhere?
Barring something crazy happening, I'm very confident that the game's going to be played. Thank you all. We'll let you know as soon as we know something.
Welcome, guys. I'd like to welcome the media, and obviously we're excited for the start of our great season. I want to echo what Joe said, that our thoughts and prayers are the wonderful people of Houston and South Texas. We understand what they're going through. We called the parents of all our players last night. They're in good shape. Got in touch with most of our recruits, and our thoughts and our prayers for their families. On the game, I totally trust Joe and the administration. They lead the way. My job is to get the team ready. We're going to focus in on the task at hand, and wherever they tell me we're going to play, we're going to get the team ready to go and compete like Tigers. We just completed our fourth preseason game. It was sort of a walkthrough. We simulated a game-type situation with substitutions, timeouts, special teams. We had a scout team out there. Our guys did a very good job, and now we have finished preseason camp, and we're very proud of our guys. We've had a good camp. Matt Canada has all his offense in. He's ready to go. Our special teams have all the special teams ready. Dave has all the things ready that he wants to in the first game. So now our attention is completely to BYU. On to BYU, a little scouting report. First of all, they're very well coached. They're tough. They're hard-nosed. They're experienced. Their record was 9-4 last year. They won 8 out of their last 9 games. The 4 losses were by a combined 8 total points. This is a good football team. They know how to win. BYU historically has wanted to stay in tight games and win it at the end. So we know we're in for a battle, and we look forward to it. On offense, they're a pro-style offense. Their offensive coordinator is Ty Detmer. As you guys know, I played against him in 1990. I was at Miami in Utah. It wasn't a good outcome for the Hurricanes. He was a 1990 Heisman Trophy winner. He's a College Football Hall of Fame. Now he's calling plays for the BYU Cougars. He's a very good coordinator. There's 4 returning starters, 3 on the offensive line, who I feel is the strength of their offense. They're very well coached in the offensive line. Their center's a good football player, and they're very physical and they're very big. You know, they're averaging about 400 yards a game, 200 run, 200 passing. They're very balanced. Their top players, as I mentioned, Tehan Karama, a center. He's only about 6'1". He started every game. His number is 56. Every game that he played at BYU, me and Pete have been studying the guy all summer. He is a very good technician. He plays a low center of gravity, and we're going to have our hands full with him. It's a big battle for Greg Gilmore and Ed Alexander. Tanner Mangum is their quarterback. He throws the ball very well. He's a junior. He's experienced. He started 12 games as a freshman, 1 game as a sophomore. The guy that's in command of his offense. Squally Canada is a running back, number 22. He's a tough physical style at 100 yards versus Portland State. On their defense, their head coach is a defensive guy. They play the same defense we play. They're good friends with Dave. They play a 4-3 defense. They play over. They play 3-4, very similar to the things that we do. They're very stout, especially against the run. They only gave up 112 yards rushing last year, and I think they only gave up, 6 points to Portland State, and they only gave up a few yards rushing to Portland State. I think they're very good up front. They coach very well. They had 42 tackles for loss and 18 sacks on the season. Their top players are Fred Warner, senior outside linebacker. He plays the F position, which is the field linebacker. The same thing for us that Corey Thompson plays. He is a very good run defender, a very good pass defender. Micah Henneman, strong safety. Number 7 is the best guy in the strong safety department. Corbin Kafasi, junior defensive end. He's a big physical guy. He's a great pass rusher. He's a guy that we need to know at all times where he's at to protect Denny. And their number 1 cornerback is Troy Warner, sophomore cornerback. They're very good on special teams, especially in their coverage units. Okay, now on to the LSU Tigers. It's always going to be about us and never about our opponent. Our starting offensive line for this game, as we going into the week, things may change up to game time. Left tackle will be K.J. Malone. Left guard will be Garrett Brumfield. Center will be Will Clapp. Right guard will be out of 2 freshmen, which I'm very proud of. I've been bragging on them the whole time. One of them are going to start, and I think they're going to do a very good job. Either Sadiq Charles or Ed Ingram. Both of them will play. At right tackle will be Toby Weathersby. Obviously, our quarterback will be Danny Etlin. Tight ends, our number 1 tight ends are Foster Morrow and J.D. Moore, backed up by David Dupree, Jabal Pettigrew, and Torrey Carter. Those guys have done a tremendous job for us in camp. Our 3 starting wide receivers will be DJ Chark, Russell Gage, and Derek Dillon, with Stephon Sullivan, Drake Davis, Jacoby Stevens, Racey McMath getting a bunch of reps. Also, Justin Jefferson. Our starting running back will be Darius Geis, backed up by Darrell Williams, and you will see Clyde Edwards-Helaire and Nick Brissett get into the game. On defense, our field linebacker will be Corey Thompson and or Michael Divinity. Start left end will be Christian Lacouture. Nose tackles will be Greg Gilmore, backed up by Ed Alexander. As I said, they will have a tough job with one of the best centers that we're going to see. Our starting right end is our most consistent player all year, all camp, Rashard Lawrence. And our bench linebacker is still up in there. We have not decided who our bench linebacker is going to be. I coach that position. Arden Key will not play in this game. Ray Thornton, Calebon Chasson, or Andre Anthony will be the starter. That could be up to a game-type decision. I want to see how they practice all week. They're very young players, and we still need a week of work there. At middle linebacker will be Donnie Alexander, backed up by Tyler Taylor or Jacob Phillips. Those guys are really close. At Rover will be Devin White, backed up by Jonathan Rucker and Patrick Queen. Left corner will be Dante Jackson, backed up by Jontre Kirkland. Strong safety will start will be John Battle, backed up by Eric Monroe. Todd Harris is going to play a little at strong safety, but will start on all our special teams. I'm very proud of Todd, a freshman out of Plaquemine, one of our best special teams players already as a freshman. Free safety will be Ed Parrish or Grant Talbot. We'll go throughout the week to see who has the best practice. Right corner will be Kevin Tolliver and Gritty Williams. Nickel back will be Kerry Vincent or Xavier Lewis. Okay, special teams. Snapper will be Blake Ferguson. Blake is a very good snapper for us. Our punter will be Josh Growler. I'm proud to say that we had a field goal competition, and Jack Gosselin won it. He kicked 85% of his kicks in camp, and I'm very proud to say that Jack has fought very hard to win that position. Kickoff, we also had a competition, and Connor Culp won that competition. We're excited about Connor. He kicked several into the end zone, and that is the best kickoff coverage that we can get. Our returners on kickoff return, Clyde Evans-Hilaire, a freshman who's had a great camp, has very good ball skills, is going to start there. And at punt return will be Dante Jackson and or Derek Dillon. Any questions?
Coach, I know some of your players got together to watch that game this weekend. For the people that say, oh, they didn't look that impressive in that game, what would be, your message to?
I'm going to show them the film. I'm going to show the defensive line the film where Portland State's line is getting crushed. Where their running backs are running over people. They're physical and they're very good. I'm going to show them the film where their defensive line is crushing their offensive line. They're a good football team. They'll get that message today. Sure. That's where they have their advantage. There's no question. Those coaches in there, and they're making adjustments. They're making mistakes. They saw them live. We don't have that luxury. But also, they didn't see us play neither, so we got an advantage to see their guys. We had a lot of cut-ups from the TV copies. So we understand what they're trying to do. Obviously, they're going to put in new wrinkles that we're going to have to make adjustments, but we're very well prepared for that.
Ed, the right guard spot, you mentioned two true freshmen. Is that, for a coach, is that nerve-wracking going in that you're going to have a true freshman right there? Where's Lloyd kind of fit in?
Yeah, Lloyd can also play there. He's going to back up Will at center. And obviously, during the game, stuff happens, so Jeff is going to mix and match those guys. But let me say something. I'm proud of those guys. And I've seen them work throughout the camp. I've seen them going against very good defensive linemen. They're ready to go. They're going to make freshman mistakes, yes, but it's not like they're not physically prepared to do it. I think they're physically prepared to do it.
Ed, right here in the front. Just the uncertainty of where the game will be played. What do you tell your team? How do you prepare? Does it affect you in any way? Or does the fact that the guys are kind of used to the routine of hopping on a plane, going to a game, and, it's just what it is?
Block out the noise. We train. I think the answer is going to come soon enough where these guys are going to know. Our focus is going to be on BYU today. These guys are well prepared for this. It will not be a distraction, I promise you.
Coach, over here to your right, do you think that, two questions, do you think BYU is going to do some things radically different than they did in the first game against you? They've got some things in the vault, one. Yeah. And two, I think everyone in Louisiana is asking, why not play in New Orleans?
Yeah. Well, number one is, obviously, they're going to put in new wrinkles for us. I think that from what I'm hearing, they've been game planning for us for a long time. They've been calling other schools about information and stuff like that, so we've got that word. So obviously I think those guys, like anybody else, would have made a game plan throughout the summer. And we said we're going to show this against Portland State. We're not going to show it. So we know that. But we've gone back through 12 games of last year, and we're going through every formation and every play. So as the defense, every blitz, so we're prepared for it. As far as the other question, I totally let Joe and them handle that, and I don't even worry about it.
Right here. You mentioned a lot of freshmen in that two deep, some guys starting. Where do you sense that they're at mentally now that camp is behind you and game week is here?
We're fixing to find out Saturday night at 8:30. I mean, we put them through as much preseason prep. Listen, we've tried to manufacture all the pressure we can for those guys, and they've done well. But until they get on the lights, until they get on the game type situation, we kind of have an educated guess, but we're going to see. But we do believe in it. We do believe that they're prepared to do it.
Ed, LSU sold 23,000 tickets for the game in Houston. Are you concerned this game will be played so far away from Baton Rouge that the fans will not show up nearly as much as they would for Houston?
Yeah. Here's what I got to say that again. I trust what Joe and them are going to do are going to be great. And I know this, we're always going to have the best interest of our fans in mind.
Over here, wondering if you could go in any more specifics on the families of the players who are from Houston. If I know you said they've been in touch with their families and they're okay, but
Yeah.
do you know about what kind of damage they have or what kind of hardship they're going through, and
Yeah,
how is the program?
Yeah, a good question. We talked to most of them. Most of them said they were okay. I talked to Toby Weathersy's mother. Was concerned about her grandmother. Her mother, Toby's grandmother, was going to get out of a situation that she was struggling in. I talked to the rest of the parents. I got in touch with most of them. Either had little water or none, and they felt that they were on an island. They felt like they were trapped and couldn't move. I felt bad for them, but they were very appreciative that we did call.
Ed, you've been talking about the freshmen that are going to play. BYU's lineup has a lot of grown men in it.
Yeah.
How much is that a concern to you?
Well, throughout the years, people that played BYU, their experience, their toughness, the way they're coached, they stay in tight games and they want to win it at the end. This is going to be a battle. This football team is going to be a very good football team. It's going to be a battle. Unless we're going to go in there and give it all we got. I know our guys are going to play well. There are going to be some first game mistakes that we're going to have to fix, but we will be totally prepared. If a freshman is in there, he's not doing it, we have an older guy to back him up, if we can.
Coach, there seems to be a lot of confidence in Will Clapp at center there. I mean, award watch list and things like that. Why so much confidence in a guy who's never started at center, never played at center?
Yeah, he's a technician. Will was a very good guard. He knows the little nuances of playing center. The thing that we like about our center, he's the captain of the offensive line. He makes all the calls. He calls the protection. He checks Mike here, Mike there. He makes all the checks up front. So that's why we wanted an experienced guy. Maybe not necessarily the physicality, because Lloyd has it. It was the ability to make the adjustments and protection in the run game, and he makes those calls.
Right here, Coach. Do you expect Darius to be back at practice today? And if so,
I talked to his trainer today. We expected to ease him into practice, and we're going to see how this week goes. Do I think Darius is going to play? Yes. Am I 100% sure right now? No. I've got to see how he practices this week. We're going to ease him into practice this week.
Coach, with those battles that you still have the starting jobs open for, do you want anything to be named before Saturday, or is this going to be a competition all week?
It all
and
depends.
Figure it out?
It all depends. I like, first of all, I let the assistant coaches handle it, and they're going to tell me if the guy's ready or not. I ask them on a daily basis. As far as the B linebacker, I need to see them go through the whole process. I mean, to see what they do in pregame warm-up. We have a lot of young guys there. I want to see how they feel on game day. So I think there's going to be a process throughout the week, and I don't expect us to name some right before game time. Everybody else?
Darius, he was on social media tweeting about is it his tooth or whatever? He's got a tooth issue?
Yeah, Darius was out last week with an injury, and he'll be back today, though.
Yeah, right behind Ross.
I'm sorry.
Obviously, with all the talk about moving the game and how it affects the fans and all that. Speak to if you would, the resilience of the players. Unfortunately, this is not the first time they've had to go through this. They've been through a lot of
Yeah.
uncertainty over the last couple of years.
Yeah.
These kind of situations.
Hey, you know what? Since we took over, Tell the Truth Monday, Competition Tuesday, it's all built on focusing on the task at hand on a daily basis. And I told the team, block out the doors. Look at all the stuff we went through last year. I mean, going into the last week, who's going to be the coach, who's not going to be the coach. And our focus was going to be Texas A&M, and we did it. So I think this team is trained. I think that when I talked to them today, focusing on the task at hand, all of them have come through the office today and said, Coach, I don't care where we play, let's go, we're ready to play. Just tell us what to do. So I think that's the mindset of the team.
Coach, I don't know how much of this you're going to share, but do you expect everyone to make the trip for the
What's
game?
that?
Do you expect everyone to make the trip for your team?
I'll see. We got a long week.
Thank you.
Coach, over here, I know there's been so much talk about the offense. How much better do you think you will be on offense this year? Can you quantify that without playing a game yet?
Well, let me say this to you. When we took over, we broke a bunch of records on offense. Our first game, we had 670-something yards of offense. I don't know how much better you're going to be there, But I think consistency, running the ball 50% of the time, throwing the ball 50% of the time, being unpredictable in formations, running a spread offense, I know all those things are going to be better. You know what I'm saying? But since we took over, I think that we were very good on offense except for the Alabama game. And, we ran for so many yards against Texas A&M. I don't remember how many yards that was. We went to Arkansas, did very well. I think our guys are going to improve throughout the year. I think Matt Canada does a tremendous job on offense. He's averaged 40 to 43 points a game wherever he's been, or at Pittsburgh for sure. So if we can get that points per game average up from last year, I would say we'll be a lot better. All right, guys, thank you. Go Tigers.